What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube world? This is Chris, aka Barnon11970. Thank you, as always, for watching my video. I wanted to talk about gold and silver a little bit. We haven't done that in a while, and I know a couple of people that are still here for those particular reasons. And um, I wish I could find it. I get, especially now with that new Facebook page, I'm getting articles like nonstop, which I love, by the way. And to all the people that joined my Facebook page, it's actually up to almost too shy of 300 likes in the span of what, 3 or 4 days? It's amazing. But I'm so overwhelmed with emails and postings and videos and stuff. I lose track at this point. So I apologize. But I really wish I could find it. If somebody could find this link and they could post it, I'd really appreciate it. But somebody sent me a link a couple of days ago talking about somebody had some site that they had to pay to see. You know, you pay to get information from people, and they were talking about how they were predicting that gold was going to go down to about $900 to $1,000 an ounce, and silver was going to potentially go down to about $15 an ounce in the month of June. Now, it didn't say what time, and it didn't really get into the details. That's the one thing I remember about this article. So I don't know who said it. So unfortunately, I can't find it to be able to tell you because I don't remember offhand. So I apologize. But and I can't confirm whether this is true or not because variables can happen. So even if it was something that somebody had good information on, things can change. But I'll tell you this much: from what I read about that article, it said that expect that in the month of June if it happens. And then they said shortly after that there would be a parabolic move for both gold and silver. So the first thing I want to say is I made videos in the past saying that you will never see $15 silver again. And if that does happen, I will be the first person to admit that I was wrong. And for example, I don't know how many people still subscribe to my channel that talked about $15 silver. I mean, that was such a long time ago that people were talking about that. But I know one of them, for example, is the news unit. Now, I was one of those people. Obviously, people that have been watching me know that him and I, for whatever reason, we just don't get along. But he was one of the people that I remember that said, whether he was doing it comically just to kind of poke, or he actually meant it, if it's right, I will give credit where credit is due. I mean, I don't take things as personally as people think. But to me, I see it as a perfect opportunity. And I know I've always said that because the way I view physical gold and silver, even though I don't listen to as many of the pumpers as I used to, because you notice after time goes by, you see that a lot of them are just in it for the money. And that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But if your priority is nothing more than making as much money as possible, well, isn't that the problem we have with governments and banks and corrupt politicians where there's never enough and you have to keep feeding it? It's like a hole that is endless and you keep trying to fill it. I mean, any religious people out there that realize where they say how money is the root of all evil, and if you make that your priority, that's not the way I want to be. Like, I don't get my gold and silver, and I've never gotten any gold and silver for a get-rich-quick scenario. I think of it like insurance. Insurance is something that you pay for in case of a situation occurring. Now, you don't buy car insurance and then that day get into your car and say, boy, I can't wait to get into an accident, so this way I can get whatever money I can from that injury. Does that make sense? But just imagine if you didn't have car insurance and then you did, God forbid, get into an accident. Well, you can't call up the insurance company and say, hi, I just got into a car accident. I'd like some car insurance. It's not going to happen. So the whole idea is to get it when people don't desire it and when you don't really need it, and you save it for if there is a time where you do need it. And I've always said that. I've never said, if you are buying gold and silver to get rich, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons, in my opinion. That doesn't mean you can't do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's what I think the thing that about the whole Peter Schiff thing that people don't seem to understand. Excuse me. I mean, I never made any videos saying, oh, now everybody should go unsubscribe from him, or I didn't say that he's the devil or anything. I just disagreed with his way of how he said it, how he talked about he didn't like Bitcoins, he wouldn't trust them, but now, in a way, he's validating them by allowing another party to be able to utilize their Bitcoins to get gold that he's affiliated with. Whether it's his or not is irrelevant, and I know it wasn't his. But for me, whether the rumors are true about this particular situation with gold and silver, it's something to at least think about. Now, like I said, if anybody could find that article, if they could post a comment and a link on it, I'd really appreciate that. I've been trying to find it, but there's so much stuff I'm getting now. I'm actually overloaded, which is, another thing that I think is funny with my channel, that no matter how big I get, I try my best to try and communicate with people. And you notice that most bigger websites and bigger YouTube pages, I see comments after comments where they never even acknowledge them. And I think my interaction, some people like, and some people, get off on it. That's why some of them keep coming back. And as far as the ratings disabled, I've been doing that now consistently for over a week, week and a half. It wasn't just one particular video. So I want people to know that, because I got tired of, like, for example, when I did a video about how to make organic toothpaste and getting 40 thumbs down within the first 5 minutes of posting that video. If people want to hate, see, I think that's the difference between me and other people. If I hate somebody's channel, I don't go to their channel. I don't watch it. Like, for example, like when I mentioned News Unit, I have a problem with him because he has a problem with me. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if he wanted to talk to me civilly and we could talk like adults, I'd have no problem with it. I've forgiven him before. I could do it again. But here's the thing. I don't go to his channel. I don't make 50 different accounts. I don't troll his account. I don't go and thumb down all his videos or make rude comments. I don't have any interest in him. I just don't watch it. And some people, I guess, they enjoy the drama, which is perfectly fine because it gets my channel attention, which brings people here. And for every 5 or 6 bad people, or maybe 9 or 10 bad people, one good person comes along and they learn something. So to me, that's a success. Because like I've always said, if I help one person, I've done something right. And that's what I want other people that make videos or thinking about making videos to think about, is to don't let them stop you. And also remember, do things because you want to, not because other people want to or you fit in. And the thing I learned today, that whole Peter Schiff thing, is how many people would follow somebody blindly and just omit things like his fracking company, how it's destroying the public water, all for profit. And I highly recommend people watch the Joe Morgan Experience with his interview. It was like a 25 or 30-minute long video interview with Peter Schiff. And Joe Rogan started talking about the fracking business that Peter Schiff is either affiliated with or owns. And even Joe Rogan was starting to get mad at him for avoiding the fact about how he's talking about how it's ruining the environment and how it's damaging people's water. And Peter Schiff kept talking about the financial part. So there's always money to be made. Why do you think there are so many starving people in the world? Why do you think there are so many wars? It's because of the fact that money can be made. So if your only goal in life is to make money, what are you willing to do to get it? And then somebody made some good examples of, well, like, for example, my massage business and stuff, I take credit cards. And I absolutely do. But here's the difference. I do it because there's no other choice. I take cash. I would love gold and silver. As a matter of fact, for a year and a half, I had on my massage brochure, now accepting gold and silver as payment. Do you know how many people actually offered it? That many. So there's no choice if people want only that. But what I do is I don't own any credit cards. And I don't put the money into a bank. I put it into a federal credit union. So I try and minimize the impact because I do care. And if I had a different way, I would do it. Something like Bitcoins is an option that he once said didn't believe in. But he's allowing somebody else to be able to accept it. Now, just imagine if you're a business and you accepted Bitcoins. Let's say back in December, when Bitcoins were $1,200, $1,300 a Bitcoin. And you're thinking, this is amazing. Look at all the money I'm getting. And then all of a sudden, overnight, it dropped. And now what is it, 400 or 500? As you a business, would you ever want Bitcoins ever again? Would you trust them with that kind of volatility? I sure wouldn't. And that's why I would not accept Bitcoins for my massage business or my DJ business or my organic products. So yes, we all have a little of hypocrisy, but there is a thing called choice. And people miss that integrity part of what Peter Schiff is doing and trying to say, well, he's doing it to help the people. You know what? If he would have said, you know what? I didn't really believe in Bitcoins, but it looks like they're not going away, and I could make more business that way, so I'm going to accept them. It's part of business. You know what? I would have said, you know what? He's being honest. That's integrity. I may not agree with the fact that he's taken Bitcoins, but at least he was honest. The fact that he tried to turn around and say, well, I don't believe in Bitcoins. I never did, but I'm going to allow somebody else to take them so I can get the money from it. But I'm doing it to help people so they don't get stuck with their Bitcoins. Like, really, do you really think he cares about people that much? But some people will believe it. And that's a shame. So I guess this video is going to be more than just the gold and silver. I guess people that watch my videos for a while know I go on tangents and rants. It's the Italian in me, it's the New Yorker in me, and when I have something on my mind, I'm not afraid to express it. And you also see that, yes, Peter Schiff made his joke, and he got all his followers to, yeah, let's thumb it up. And the people that don't like me are going to be like, yeah, let's support him. I guarantee you on any other day they probably would have a problem with what Peter Schiff does, because I know some of them for a fact don't like people like that. And how quickly people will change just to prove a point. But we need to have more priorities than just money. If you're nothing but profit-driven, then you might as well be part of the government, part of the banking system, part of the corruption. And to say things like, oh, well, you know, what are you, against capitalism? Well, you know what? If it destroys the planet, if it murders people, if it steals people's resources so a few can profit off it, then yeah. If that's the kind of capitalism you're talking about, then yeah, I'm against that. Aren't you? You like the suffering of people? You like the fact that other countries around the world, because they're different colored skins or different religions, that it's okay for us to bomb the living daylights out of them so we could take over their poppy plants and their lithium and their oil and their other natural resources? Or to the point where, you know, people are so much into democracy, but yet look at all the business we do with China. Last time I checked, China is a communist nation. But look at all the products. Just go to a Walmart and count the amount of made-in-China products there are. So your own government tries to talk about, like, oh, Russia is bad because they're communist, but yet we'll do business with China. We'll do all of this debt that they buy. They have no problem with that, and nobody sees the hypocrisy in that. And the hatred is just going in the wrong directions. And I'm sorry, I am not willing to sacrifice people's lives and people's livelihoods so I can have an extra couple of $1 million in my pocket. You know what? If I won the lottery tomorrow and I won $1 million, I'd be the happiest person in the world. I wouldn't sit there and say, oh, I better go play again because I need more money, or I better see what can I do now with that money so I can make more. When is enough enough? When are people satisfied? And this is the problem that we have in this world, that people that had millions now need to get billions. People that have billions now need to get trillions. And they don't care who they murder, who they step over, who they destroy, and what they ruin for our future to get it. And there are people that are going to defend that because they earn a couple of $1,000s in their pocket, the little scraps that they feed off, they give you. So anyway, this was supposed to be about gold and silver. Obviously, it went into another bar none rant. And I know people like that because even the ones that hate me so much, they cannot get away from it. They have to be here. They're here right now. They're watching right now. And I want to thank the one person that defended me. I think his name is Apprentice, or One Apprentice. I forget the name, so I apologize. The fact that you actually saw what some of those comments were for what they were, I take a lot of respect for that, and I thank you for that, because very few people will defend. They'll sit there and sit on the sidelines and do the rah-rah thing. But the fact that you actually saw what that person was saying was rude and uncalled for, and they do nothing but name call, now you know why I block some of those people. So thank you for helping. I appreciate that. Thumbs up to you. And yes, the ratings will be off on this video just like they are on every video, because I'm not giving those people the satisfaction anymore. So if you don't like it, you'll just have to sit there and say, you know what, I don't like it. If you really have the need to hit a thumbs down so bad, check your priorities. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful night. And don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Double peace, quadruple peace, lots of pieces. Reese's Pieces, who knows? Good night.